Some of the stereotypes of adults who play video games is that you're a 40-year-old virgin, you are fat, and you don't shower or wash your hands after you wipe your ass. That is a stereotype, another stereotype. The best way to say the stereotypes is if you are fat, you still live with your parents and not the brightest person because video games is a brain rotting activity. Even though the video game industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry and is more socially acceptable than it was in the late 80s and 90s, that stigma that video games make your brain mush or is for children and 30-year-old virgin males still exists. It just pisses me off that that stereotype still exists, but it does. This is a video I filmed multiple times and had two different drafts. It is a video that I need to sort of script to explain my points so my audience knows what I mean, what I am talking about, and what I'm talking about. I also decided to record it as voiceover and put it over gameplay footage because that will be easier. But anyway, playing video games is very socially acceptable if you're an adult being in the 2020s. It's if that you only have one game console and a phone to play crap free-to-play mobile games and live in a completely normal house or apartment. But if you have a whole game room and you have 10 or 15 consoles hooked up to your TV with HDMI and AV switchers, it's socially unacceptable. That's even a thing close to my generation. Here's a story from a conversation I had with a coworker of mine. I had a coworker when I worked at Little Caesars who was driving home from work and he stopped by at Walmart to pick up an Xbox Series X. He already has an Xbox One and a Nintendo Switch. His girlfriend told him, "Why the hell are you buying a Series X?" Even though the couple don't live with each other yet or anything like that. Yeah, they don't even pay bills together. They still pay bills, but they pay their own bills. My coworker's girlfriend didn't say that in any aggressive or condescending way, but it feels socially unacceptable to have more than one game console. I totally understand that game consoles are expensive, but game consoles can be cheap. I bought my Xbox 360 for $100, which wasn't a big deal at all. $100, pretty cheap. I know, game consoles, older game consoles, cost around $100 to $150 or less, which still isn't cheap, but cheap compared with $300 or $500. Even though people do understand that not every game in existence is on every platform in the world, and consoles have technical limitations and can't handle certain games. You can't play Skyrim on the Atari 2600. The system can't handle a game like that. That's common sense. You don't need to be a game designer or in the gaming community on YouTube to understand that. Even though collecting game systems is socially unacceptable, going to concerts or political rallies or football games or sporting events is socially acceptable even though it costs more money or as much money as spending on an Xbox or something like that. When you're spending money on tickets and you are driving or taking the plane, spending a good amount of gas or plane money to watch something that you can watch home at free. I am going to be Alex Jones for a moment and bring my own theory of why spending a decent amount of gas and hotel money to go to football games or concerts from 3 states away is socially acceptable, and having 7 game consoles is socially unacceptable. When you buy a game system, it is a physical item. When you have multiple of that physical item, it takes space in your house or apartment. You're going to a sporting event that is 2 states away from you, which is socially acceptable because the only physical item that you're getting is a piece of paper in order to get seated at a football game. When you buy a game console, it takes space in your house or your apartment. When you take up space with any hobby, another example is being a Star Wars fan is being socially acceptable, but if you have a room full of Star Wars home releases and memorabilia, there's still eyebrows raised. Same thing when you own 10 game consoles. Let's say I am inviting a girl over at my place for a date. She sees my whole console setup. That tells her that, hey, I'm overly obsessed with my hobby. I would rather spend my day playing video games than see you naked. That's the message I am bringing. Even though that's not what I'm thinking, that's not what I'm saying. Like, the best comparison is being on your phone when somebody is talking to you. When you are on your phone and somebody is talking to you, you are saying, fuck you, I don't care about you, and I don't want to have anything to do with you. That's the message you are bringing to that individual. You are not... You may not be thinking that or saying that, but you are sending that message. When your hobby takes up room in your house or your apartment, it shows that you're overly obsessed with your hobby, even if you're not. The best I could explain is it's about the appearance of the place that you live. And I just found the table. Not every woman thinks like that or is judgmental about a dude's hobby. I am saying that the social construct is there when it comes with having more than one gaming platform. Yes, gaming is more socially acceptable now, but the stigma that gaming is for children and 30-year-old virgins still exists. And I know that's redundant for me saying that, but that stereotype exists. I'm just bringing that up. Having more than one console is socially unacceptable, but if you game and you just have a PS4 that you play Spider-Man, God of War, or Infamous Second Son and live in a normal house, that is fine. I am not saying all women or parts of society are judgmental about people playing video games. I mean, my grandma is totally okay with the fact that I play video games for entertainment. If I lived in my mom's basement when I am 34, then yeah, that will upset her and she wouldn't be proud. That would be completely justified. What pisses me off about parts of society, especially American society, is why are people judgmental about what other people do? Oh, there's some drilling outside. I don't understand why people are judgmental about what other people do for entertainment, like grown adults. I had a math teacher in my freshman year of high school that would make fun of me for playing video games. I'm not going to name him because I don't want people to come harass him. But he is a grown-ass man. He was a grown-ass man with grandchildren, and he is judging someone else's pastime. Oh, that's a dorky thing, or oh, that's a nerd or man-child for doing that. You should get into this or that. That should be only like a preteen thing. And that mindset should be something that you should completely outgrow by the time you are in college, not when you're a grown married adult. The same adults that would rip on other adults for playing video games are the same adults that would sit on their ass all day watching Wheel of Fortune or watch some stupid fucking reality show like Big Brother or some stupid show. For those people, explain to me what's the difference between, I don't know, playing Hades on my Switch or watching the Super Bowl. What's the difference? Now for the people in the gaming community. Let me ask you this. Do you have more than one gaming platform? When people see that you have more than one console or bought the new Xbox or PlayStation, do you ever get questions or eyebrows raised from a family member, from any family member or whoever? Let me know. I really wish that the social construct I talked about, having multiple gaming consoles, is socially unacceptable. Unacceptable doesn't exist. But it does. Even though playing video games is way more socially acceptable than it was decades ago. That mindset of video games is for children and it makes your brain rot isn't completely dead yet, and we still have work to do. My advice for you is, if you're handling all your responsibilities, are you a normal functioning member of society, and you care about your friends and families? If you have that list of things while you have gaming as a hobby, then you are good to go. Don't let anybody dictate what you can and cannot do to enjoy your life, as long as it's not harmful to others. Just do what you enjoy doing.